Hello, this is the main menu blueprint showcase for Helix. Currently we are in the main menu. What you can do here is you can select your character to showcase between Activision and Radon. Every time you change one, the music, their theme music will be played, as well as one of their voice lines. The choice that you pick here will also be saved next time you open the game. You also have a settings tab, which has a bunch of basic game settings that you can change, and these as well will also be saved next time you open the game. The final thing that you have here in the main menu is the create game button here. You can create a custom game, which is currently the early networking sort of implementation that we have in Helix to keep it simple and to focus more onto the character abilities and the mechanics of the game. But what you can do here is you can select the number of players, number of maximum players, and then you can create a custom game, which will then bring us to the lobby. I will now showcase this in the blueprints. This is the main menu blueprint. We start with begin play. What it does here, it grabs the developer variable from game info instance to check if this game is being run on editor or not. And this will usually be, the developer variable will usually be false if it's shipped, but true if it's in an editor, and simply enables for better development testing, as well as being able to play in editor. As in this project we use the custom build Unreal create session for Steam, and obviously the editor does not have Steam. In here we just use it for to disable or enable all screen messages, so that in the editor you can see the debug messages. Once that is done, it checks for if a character save game does exist. The character save game is simply a save game object blueprint, which contains the saved character, which is a first-person character blueprint, which is the parent class for all characters in the game. This stores the selected character that the player has chosen, or the default one if it's the first time playing the game, plus all the choices of the settings, as well as a tutorial boolean, which is used for to know if the player has selected the option to not play the tutorial, so it will remember that choice and not ask again, as well as the 3 arrays for the soft build of each character. I'll explain this in a future video regarding character selection. If it does find the character save slot, then it will load it, and then it will grab the character save blueprint and set the game info instance variable selected character, and it will give the value of the saved character so it can be reused later on. Then it will simply spawn it by finding the spawn object in the scene and spawns the character. If it doesn't find the character slot, then it simply loads the default character slot, which is the side character, and then, as we saw before, as we saw here, it simply spawns it by selecting the character spawn. Finally, in the main menu blueprint, there is a custom function called spawn character, which is used, as we've seen before, as I showcased before, once you select your character in the main menu. Once you select it around here, once you have selected it, it will run this function around here, which is the customize button function. It will grab the selection that the player has pressed, and then it will feed that information into here from the game info instance. It will destroy the previous character, and it will spawn a new character in the spawn in the scene, and it will spawn the character here, similar to how we seen before. After that, it will save that choice for so that the player will have his choice saved. Finally, in the main menu, as we've seen before, this is the create game button. And what the create game button does, once you have created a game, it will check for the tutorial variable. What this does is it will just prompt the player with a choice if they want to do the tutorial or not. If the player has already chosen not to do the tutorial, this will simply create a advanced session and bring the player to the lobby level. And the create sessions advanced, what it does here, it uses the inbuilt Steam function create advanced session with the various settings, such as the max amount of players that you can pick, as well as if you can invite people, or if friends can join through this team. And once that is done, if it succeeds, then it will run this create advanced success, and then we'll move the player to the new level, which is the lobby. This is used to change the max players, as we've seen. It just increases the variable players, and then gives it into the game info instance to be used, as we've seen in the game info instance blueprint. And finally, it simply constructs the constructor here just assigns a game info instance variable for easier use, like this. And this has been the main menu showcase blueprint for Helix.